Hi and welcome to this new video, and in this video we're looking at VelociDrone 112 and another of the new features that will be coming in the release, which will be out within the next couple of weeks. And in this video we're looking at manual flight mode. So manual flight mode is a flight mode where you have an arm and a disarm switch, and you also have the ability to do turtle mode. And when you're racing, there are no resets. So if you crash your quad, then wherever you end up, it's up to you to turtle mode yourself up if you need to, or recover from wherever you've ended up and get yourself back in the race, all of your own volition. The sim will do nothing to help you. It's up to you to get yourself back in the race, just like a real race. Okay, so if we go to the controller, you'll see that we've now got two new options down here. We've got arm motors and flip after crash, and you just put these on a switch on your radio. So one switch for arming and disarming motors, one switch for flip after crash. And on my Tyrannus, I've used switch SF for arm and disarm, which is the one I usually use on my real quads. And for the flip after crash, I've used switch SC, which is also the same switch I use on my real quads, and it's actually using the full Betaflight version of flip recovery or flip crash recovery or whatever they call it. It's running that exact same code, so it does actually reverse your props. It does give you control on the stick to rev up whichever props are high or low when you're upside down. So it works exactly the same. You flick it in and then you move the stick in order to flip whichever direction you want to flip, and then you have to turn it off and rearm, and all of the switching that you have to do is exactly the same as you would have to do in a real race if you had turtle mode activated. Okay, so when we go to single player, we obviously got our new workbench here where you can see all of our new quads in their full glory, and I'll fly the Oblivion, why not. This is the new scene selector and track selector, so you can see here you can now see much better what the available scenes are and what the available tracks are, so it takes no time at all now to find the track that you want. They're all in alphabetical order. It's all much easier. And then over here you'll see there's a new arming field, and if you switch that to manual, you now are using arm and disarm and turtle mode when racing. And if you have it on auto, then that's exactly the same as you're used to in VelociDrone 111, where it does automatic resets for you and all that good stuff. Okay, so we'll put it in manual mode and we'll select I don't know, what should we do? We'll go somewhere simple. So we go to the football stadium, and we'll use split S, why not? Stick with the familiar.
Ready to race.
Okay, so here we are in the football stadium, and if I just turn on my sticks here and just move my throttle, you can see that nothing is going on, and that's because my quad is not armed. I've now armed it by flicking the switch. Now I can fly, and I can in fact disarm in flight as well. If I flick the switch, you can see it's comes down as you'd expect. So rearm it again. Now what happens if you end up upside down in a race? Well, okay, yeah, that's very straightforward too. So what we can do here is we can flip ourselves over like so. So I've now disarmed, and you can see up the top here it's telling me what modes I'm in. So I've disarmed, I've flicked in turtle mode, and now I have to rearm, and you can see it says armed and flip on. And now I can, too much as usual, there we go, get myself up the right way. I can now switch out turtle mode, disarm, rearm, and I'm away. Okay, so what happens in a race? Because obviously in a race you're going to have a different start procedure now because you've got to arm your quads and all that kind of stuff. So let me show you that.
Pilots, arm your quads as we go live on the tone in less than 5.
And that's the new start procedure. Now obviously you can fly off of the grid before Scully has announced that you can go and you get the beep. So let me show you what happens if you do that. So let's just disarm, and I'm going to deliberately fly off the grid before the beep this time.
Pilots, arm your quads as we go live on the tone.
And I've just been black flagged, and what that means is that I can't actually fly now for 5 seconds. And now I've been rearmed and allowed to fly. So if you try and cheat off the start line before the tone goes, then you get a 5-second penalty where you're held back whilst everyone else can fly off. So you do need to make sure you don't fly off the start grid early. Now to make sure that can't happen, say you're flying around like I am now and you've got your throttle up high and someone starts a race,
Pilots, arm your
it
quads.
automatically disarms you, so you have to do a disarm and rearm in order to get yourself back into a position where you can start the race again. The other thing with having manual arming is that you can now preload as well. So if I just stop the race here and start it again, I can arm and I can preload
on the tone in less than 5.
And I could have preloaded a bit more and got the angle up more there, but as you can see you've got full control to preload and your quad won't fly off the line. It'll just tip up and allow you to just do a super fast takeoff if that's what you really want to do and practice your preloads. Okay, so that's it. Let me just show you what happens if you in a race. So we're in a race now, it's timing, and I crash out. So let's do a bit of that. So about to crash in a minute. Let's try and go too fast and see what happens. Okay, and now I have got to get myself back into it in order to carry on racing. As you can see, there's no reset. I just smacked it straight in there and the sim just went, well, you're on your own, son, sort it out.
35.52.
See, I'm now stuck in this thing here, so I have got to get myself out of this. So disarm, and it's actually allowed me to fall flat now, so I can probably arm and fly off backwards from this. There we go. Carry on my race. So you are now in full control, and if you screw it up, it's entirely up to you to sort it out yourself. And of course this will have the effect of slowing down players when they're playing the game, because if you have a crash you aren't going to get that instant reset and off you go again. You're going to have to deal with turtle mode and getting yourself out of whatever horrible situation you manage to get yourself into by flying too fast or beyond your capabilities. Okay, so let's just finish this race off. There we go. There's the race finished. Okay, that's it, and I'll see you on the next video.